Hey everyone, I am Nicole Newman and today I am making some soft pretzels. This is one of my most raved recipes. My friends love it. We make it for fondue. We'll do sandwiches on them. Later I'm going to be using them to make some chicken salad and we're going to eat that for lunch, and I'm going to have it on a pretzel bun. They're really trendy right now. I love pretzels, love soft pretzels. Like I said, I've used these for several different things, cutting them into little pretzel bites for game day, making pretzel buns, using them for fondue. Doesn't matter, no matter whenever I make them, everyone goes crazy for them. So let's get started. You're going to need 5 cups of all-purpose flour, 5 cups-ish. We're going to see how much we need, just kind of based on once we get our liquid ingredients in and everything. So I've got about 4.5 cups in here, and then I have some extra here in a bowl that I'll use for dusting and for kneading, and also in case I need a little bit more added into my mixture. I have 1¼ cups of warm water. I've added 2 tablespoons of, or 1½ tablespoons of yeast and a tablespoon of sugar to this, and I let that rise for about 10 minutes. I also have ½ a cup of sugar, some salt, and some oil. So let's get started. Here on my flour, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate my sugar and my salt. We're going to do about a 4-finger pinch of salt. You need about a tablespoon, 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon of salt added into this. And then we're just going to make kind of a well in the center and add in our oil. You need about a tablespoon of oil added in. And we're going to add in our yeast mixture to this. I just like to kind of scrape that out, make sure I have all of my leavening agent. I want nice, soft, fluffy pretzels, so we want to make sure we have all of our yeast in there. And then we're just going to go ahead and give this a stir. Sometimes I need to add more water, sometimes I need to add more flour. Just kind of depends on kind of the humidity in the air, maybe your baking altitude. Several things can affect this. So while it's not an exact recipe, I do kind of have some normals down here today. I'm going to need to add some more water, probably about another ½ to 3/4 of a cup added in here. So I'll go ahead and grab some water, keep mixing this, and then we'll knead it for about 7 to 8 minutes once we have our dough incorporated. And I'll show you what that looks like once we get there. Alright guys, so I added in about another ½ cup of water. So this was actually about 1 3/4 cup that I needed today for this recipe. So our dough is nice, it's solid, it's come to a nice ball. It's not too sticky, it's not too dry, so that's perfect. Now we're going to knead it for about 7 to 8 minutes. Now I've tried this in my hand mixer before and I just don't like the results. I don't know why, I just think it tastes better whenever you hand knead it. I like kneading dough, I like working with my hands. It can be tiring, you really do need to work into the dough. So that's up to you. If you choose to do it in your mixer, you can just use a dough hook and let it go for 7 minutes, but I just like to knead it by hand. Then we're going to let it rest in an oiled bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and get started kneading. I have my flour here, and I'll just kind of have some on reserve, and I'll just be able to sprinkle it out whenever the dough gets a little sticky or if it needs something to be incorporated. So we're just going to go ahead and spread some out here right now, and I'm going to start kneading. I'll see you back in 7 minutes. Alright guys, so I am in my last minute of kneading here. Almost done. Gonna go ahead and finish this off. What we're looking for is a nice, smooth, elasticy dough, slightly sticky. So what I've been doing is working the gluten network in that flour. That's really gonna help develop the texture of our soft pretzels. So that's why the kneading is so important. Then we're gonna let it rest, so that way that gluten can rest, because we've really just been putting it to work. So want to go ahead, let it rest. I'm going to put it in an oiled bowl for about an hour until it doubles in size. You can cover it with a clean towel, that way a crust does not form on the top, or you can cover it with plastic wrap. Go ahead and kind of shape it into a ball, and I'm going to grab a bowl. It smells really good. I love the smell of yeast bread. So I'm just going to put some oil here in my green bowl. usually just kind of swirl it around. I put my dough in, toss it a few times, coat it in the oil, let it sit there. I'm going to cover it with a clean towel, let it sit for an hour, and then we are so close to soft pretzels, and they are going to be phenomenal, guys. You're going to love these. All right, everyone, so my pretzel dough has been rising for about an hour. It has doubled in size. It's beautiful. We're going to go ahead and start. If I were making pretzel sticks, I can demo what one of those would look like if I were going to make the pretzel shape. But I'm just making rolls, so I'm just going to split the dough. Usually I split it in half. You get 12 large pretzels out of this. About like 6 million pretzel bites if you do pretzel bites. You may want to half the recipe depending on the size of your crowd. And you get 12 pretzels or 12 large pretzel rolls. So what I do is go ahead, split it in half again, and then I'll get 3 rolls out of here. So I just kind of eyeball that and get those going. Now, if I were going to do the soft pretzels, then you just roll them out, kind of work it into, usually I'd have a mat down and work it into my surface, but roll it out into a long strip. Usually we'd have some flour down. Plan ahead. Alright, so this will just kind of be a slightly, you'll get the idea. But it's pretty easy to shape the pretzel. You take the ends up, make a U, crisscross them over to make kind of like a cancer ribbon, and then fold it down towards you. And you have your, more or less, I would have planned ahead, pretzel shape. But we're just doing a ball, so, or our pretzel rolls, so I'm not too concerned with that. Now, what helps give the pretzels their flavor is, versus this just being a yeast roll, I have half a cup of baking soda here and a cup of warm water. And I'm going to just dip the pretzel in there for just a quick second, shape it, and then put it on the tray. The baking soda is going to help give it that classic pretzel flavor. I'm going to get 6 on each tray. I'll slice the tops of them and salt them in just a second. Kind of reshape this one that we rolled out into a pretzel. Trust me, I make these a lot. I can definitely demo how to do that pretzel shape a little better in another video. Alright. Other one is split this into 3 parts as well. Go ahead and keep dipping these and getting them out on my tray. Alright, so I'm just going to get my last one done here. And we're set with that. Get rid of my bowl. Just going to dry my hands really quick. And then we're going to do a good pinch of salt on top. There's some salt in the dough, but I like a salty pretzel top. And depending on what I'm using these for, I'm going to be making chicken salad with these for lunch today. So I'm not going to add a lot of salt to my chicken salad because I know I'm going to have a lot of salt on my bun. So it's okay to go heavy. Just keep in mind your implication for it and what you'll be doing to help determine your amount of salt. And if you just want the pretzels without salt, you don't have to add it. You could also do them with cinnamon and sugar. Lots of options here. So please feel free to be creative, adapt the recipes to your needs. So I'm going to go ahead and just do salt this time. I like to sprinkle it from higher up. That way you have a nice even coating. With it. If you get too close to it, then you're going to get a big clump of salt just in one bite, and it won't have a nice salty flavor all over. Alright, so I've got them salted. I'm going to go ahead and grab a knife here. I'm just going to score the tops of them. That's just for decorative purposes. You can do 2 to 3 cuts in them. Now I've got my oven back here. It is preheated to 425 degrees, and I'm going to bake these for about 8 minutes and then check them. word of caution, they do bake, they brown quickly, so they look like they're maybe not quite there yet, not quite there yet. You keep giving it a few more minutes and then boom, they're brown. So you want to keep an eye on them after the end of the 8 minutes, and usually I just kind of watch them right here at the oven, make sure that they're doing good. Just do a minute at a time if they're still kind of doughy in the center, so that way I know that I don't get overdone, burnt pretzels. I want a nice soft pretzel roll for this. So I'm gonna go ahead, pop these in the oven, and then when we come back, we'll get our chicken salad made. It's gonna be great. I'll have a link to the chicken salad video that will be in a separate one, but I'll have a link to it. It's all gonna be used for the same recipe today, but you could use the pretzel rolls for any kind of sandwich that you'd like. You can use them for any kind of purpose that you'd like and do them a bunch of different ways. So I'll see you in a few. Alright, so I just took my pretzels out of the oven. They did need a minute longer. I did them for 9 minutes and I've got the second batch in. They are so good. They have a nice golden crust. I'll show you this one. It looks really great. Nice and golden. They're so soft. Oh, I wish you could be here smelling them. You're going to have to make this for yourself. They have a nice brown bottom. Good crust around the entire pretzel. They smell amazing. Nice and salty. Really going to be great. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a little bite off of this one. Don't tell anybody. That'll be what my lunch is on. But guys, they're delicious. They're great for dipping in cheese. You can do a fondue with them, use them as an appetizer, cook them up for game day, serve a sandwich on them, put a burger on them. So versatile, so worth the time. I know it's a lot of kneading, it's a lot of patience, but so good. That baking soda really helps give them a classic pretzel flavor. They bake up great in the oven, nice and golden. People will rave about them. They are my most raved about recipe. People love them. I tell them make soft pretzels, they're like floored. They taste them even more floored. All right, I'm gonna keep eating this one. I can't stop eating them. I need an all carb diet. That would be the best diet for me. I love, love, love these. So let me know how they turn out. Make sure you check out my chicken salad video. They go great with the pretzels, and I'll see you guys next time.